Good Monday morning, everybody. It is the 14th of August, 2023. And yeah, I intended to do something a little different with this video. I had started it actually last Friday and had the realization that ibuprofen and I don't get along real well, so I was out of commission on Saturday, and today's my day off. So what has transpired is this. I went to get the old girl out of the barn the other day, as you'll see here in the video shortly, and we had a little bit of an issue, so let's get right to it. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Friday, the 11th of August, 2023. I'm Dave, welcoming you back to Nelson Creek Farms. And what are we going to be up to today, Farmer Dave? Well, let me show you. Today is the day we get into all of the old black walnut trees that have been cut down so that we can eventually put a gate in up there. That'll make it a lot easier for the guy to come get the 450 and his equipment out of here and to pick up his firewood that I've let him have. So, yeah, we're going to get with it today. So if you like old tractors, today's the day to be watching. Yes, it is. As they say, the best plans in the world often fail. Well, the Super M let me down today. I came out here to start it, and I've been long suspicious that the battery charging system isn't working properly. Well, it's deader than a doornail, and I don't think the alternator's actually getting power to the battery because the amp gauge doesn't read anymore. Well, unfortunately, it's time for me to head off to town to the in-town job. The tractor's all greased and lubed up and ready to go. And when I get home tonight from work at the in-town job, we're going to get it moving those trees. Yeah, so hang on, I'll be right back. So before the auto parts store opens up in town and I can go get parts if I need parts, going to do a little disassembly on the old tractor and find out exactly what it is I'm going to need to get from the auto parts store when they open this morning, which will be in about an hour. Yeah, but there's a couple things I see wrong with this already today. One of the first things I noticed is I had inadvertently thought that the case would be grounded well enough with the bolt hooking to here and all this, but I see there's a bunch of oil has gathered there on that mounting bracket. So chances are I've lost a little bit of a ground contact there. So I'm going to have to find a ground wire that can go from that stud to, say, here, for example, to help make sure that I have a good ground here on this deal, or to that bolt there or somewhere to make sure this case is actually grounded well. So I must apologize, today's video isn't going to be about logging those walnuts unless I can get this thing fixed so it starts charging its battery. I finally found out what was wrong with the Super M, so now I'm heading back to town for more parts. Yeah, and I bet you can't guess what it is. I honestly don't know why I didn't tumble to it sooner. That's a 5-year-old battery with a big old crack right up the side of it. Yeah, it must have sat dead all winter, froze, and then broke the case. So, yeah, we're heading to town to go get a new battery. Yep. You know, I wish you all would quit screaming and hollering at me every time I run off the road. Yeah. After all, you're making me nervous. There's the new battery installed. I finally found a bulge in this side of the old battery, and there were some ribs on it that ran from the top of the case down to the bottom, and glancing at it I thought one of them was just another rib. It turns out to be that it was cracked and it bulged out this way on this side. Of course I couldn't see it because all the hydraulic hoses, battery cables and everything was kind of in the way, so I wasn't looking at it too hard, but I should have known. A 5-year-old battery, yeah, that's probably the root of the cause of the problem. So let's see if we can get the old girl to start and run a little bit and charge a battery. Well, let's see if the old girl will start. Still need to tighten that back up. Let's give her a whirl and see. Okay, that's good so far. Yeah! Hey, check this out. Looky there, it's showing a charge. Yes, indeed it is. Yeehaw! Well, for me, that's a happy conclusion to pretty much a wasted day. I wish I'd have spotted that battery and its problem earlier in the day. It would have saved me about 50 bucks and 4 trips to town, one of which to have the alternator tested, 2 trips to the parts store that I didn't need to make, and 1 parts trip store parts trip, to go get a battery. So, yeah, that's all that was wrong with it. Even though I had a lot of problems today, tracking it down, finding out what the problem was and all that, I'm still a firm believer in the 1-wire alternator for all these old tractors. That wasn't even anywhere near close to the major problem. There was 2 today on the old Super M. One was the cracked battery that I mentioned, and another one is an amp meter that's a little iffy. It's one of those El Cheapo eBay jobs. So we're going to see if we can't find one that's more correct with the IH logo on it from a reputable dealer that has quality stock. Well, I've got it all buttoned up now. The hood's back on it, although it's not aligned because we're missing a bolt and stuff out of here. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, muffler's on, air cleaner's on. But what the story was with the battery. And I need to put a battery box in there. I really do, instead of just having a board there for that to sit on. What happened with the battery is anybody's guess. Because when I was in the barn with it, the battery charger was showing that it was taking a charge. And it would hold a charge long enough to start and run. Well, I get it out here in the driveway to work on it, and something happened internally in that battery between the barn and where I parked it, because today I thought I was charging it. Yeah, well, I wasn't. I got to looking, and the gauges and everything on that old battery charger was indicating a dead short. So the battery casings had broken, cracked, whatever, and had caused a dead short in them. That was the problem with the tractor. Well, I'd like to thank you all for watching this episode. It isn't anything where I wanted it to go for this one, and it's coming out half a week late. So I do apologize for that. I would like to thank all the new subscribers that have subscribed to the channel. We've picked up 4 or 5 in the last week, and we're still continuing to grow and put out more content for you. One of the next videos up will be dealing with plants and pot. Yeah, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Anyway, I'm Farmer Dave wishing you well, and don't forget, subscribe right down there if you're a follower. Doesn't cost you anything. So y'all be careful out there, and we'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye for now.